This is the first time, Minister Shoukry, that Egypt has publicly acknowledged taking military action in Libya. There's been video that you've released today of some of those airstrikes. At this point, do you know what you hit? Do you know the impact of the strikes, whether you're going to keep doing more?
Well, the targets that were struck were the 10 targets related to training and storage facilities for ISIS. These were surgical strikes based on very accurate intelligence and related to degrading the capabilities of ISIS in the city of Derna. It has been an undertaking that was careful to not impact or create collateral damage by virtue of the timing and the precision of the strikes. We are confident that it has substantially had its effect in degrading the capabilities of this terrorist organization.
And you talk about them being surgical, that you had good intelligence. Libya, of course, is in chaos. There are dueling governments. One of them, the premier of one of those governments in Tripoli, Omar al-Hassi, has said that the airstrikes killed civilians, including 3 children. Do you know if that's true?
First of all, I'd like to note that there is only one legitimate government in Libya currently serving. It's in Tobruk. This is a government that came to power after free and fair and monitored elections that were held last summer. The supposed government in Tripoli has no legitimacy whatsoever, and it's trying to usurp that situation and position by virtue of the support it is getting from militias and terrorist organizations that are operating in the west of Libya. So any account that they might put out is purely for disinformation and in an effort to try to adversely impact the coordination that is underway between the Egyptian government and the legitimate government, elected government in Libya, which is serving in Tobruk.
So you're confident there were no civilian casualties?
We are hopeful that the strike was surgical, was targeting specific installations, and that there have been no collateral damage. Of course, situations of this nature, it's difficult to ascertain afterwards because this area is under control from terrorist organizations. So we will assess and evaluate, and certainly we will continue to be as careful as possible.
And Minister Shoukry, obviously you're flying F-16s, you're going ahead with these bombs. Our reporter in Cairo earlier in the program reported that Egypt wants to continue the airstrikes, but that sources in the Egyptian military told him there will come to a point where Egypt will, quote unquote, run out of bombs. How long do you plan to go ahead with these airstrikes? Is this now indefinite? Egypt is going to be fully in the coalition in Libya and beyond, or is this something where there is going to be an end point?
Well, Egypt has been at the start of the creation of the coalition, and its participation had been vital from a political and cultural perspective. And we have continued to collaborate with our partners, among them the United States, very closely since the expansion of the coalition in Paris. And we have undertaken activities related to restricting the finances and recruitment measures of ISIS. This is a participation of a military nature, and we will continue to support the coalition and be part of it in various degrees and through various measures. There is nothing to ascertain related to any further strikes. I think this is an issue that will be addressed by the military and evaluation of the situation, and they're taking into account all of the circumstances surrounding the conditions in Libya. So we will do what we need to do in relations to any threats that are posed to our citizens, and in close coordination and collaboration with the legitimate Libyan government.